ìdájọ́ ti dé. Níbo lẹ máa gbà? Ìdájọ́ ti dé o. Níbo lẹ máa gbà? Ẹ̀yin ká. Ẹ̀yin orí jẹ́ ibi. Bóyá mi lójú. Ìdájọ́ ti dé o. Ẹ má bà wọ́n láyè ẹ̀yin ìjọba. Ẹni bá wúrú ìwà yìí ló yẹ ká mú. Ká ṣe ìdájọ́ fún gẹ́gẹ́ bó ṣe tọ́. Ká lè rohùn jàrí kọ́kọ́ ò bá wọn lọ ènìyàn. Sórí wípé ṣìwà ìta ló wà
And welcome back again.
Bàbá kò jáwọ́ lórí jáwọ́. Ìwà burúkú tó wà lọ́kàn ẹ̀. Bàbá kò ṣíwọ́ lórí wọ́. Ìwà ìta tó wà lọ́kàn ẹ̀. Bàbá kò jáwọ́ lórí jáwọ́. Ó jẹ́ wípé ẹ̀rí ọkàn rẹ̀ lọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi má bí nínú bó bá jẹ́ tìrẹ. Orí tó bá kí mi lọ́wọ́ lẹ́nu kan. Ayé yìí máa yẹ lọ.
Welcome again. The mixer is on.
Ìwà ìta ló wà.
Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí i. Ẹ káàbọ̀ padà lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i. We can now go into the full program if that is what the system wants me to do.
Ìwà ìta ló wà.
A máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa iye tí Nàìjíríà pa nínú last year, or no, 2 years ago, 2021. Ìyẹn la máa show nísìn, and all the platforms is now connected to one particular broadcasting. Bàbá ti gbọ́rin ìtàn lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀, àwọn inú agbami ètò yẹn lọ, and I want you to have your pen and paper because you'll be looking and writing a lot of information tẹ́lẹ̀ máa fi bá àwọn èèyàn sọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ bá ti dé Booker Joint.
Ẹ̀yin onímọ́tò kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ṣọ́ra. Onímọ́tò yìí kò lọ rántí gbé. Onímọ́tò pàdéyàn ó sá lọ.
Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti wọlé lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i.
Ìwọ ò rí ẹ mú. Ìwà lọ́rùn ẹ̀ kò lọ́nà.
Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ti Ifọ̀ Ọlámipẹ̀kun.
Ìwà lọ́rùn ẹ̀.
Àmì pẹ́ púpọ̀ orin ìdí fẹ́ wọlé tán tó bá ti tán lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ a máa wọnú agbami ètò lọ. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ mú pen and paper dání ìta máa sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí òun náà ní Nàìjíríà. Èló ló wọlé fún Nàìjíríà ní 2021? Àwọn bó la tajà sí, àwọn bó làwa náà ti ń rajà, gbogbo ẹ̀ la máa sọ ní orí ètò ti ìrọ̀lẹ́ yìí. Mo kí bàbá mi Lukman, mo kí i dáadáa.
Ìwà ìta tó bẹ̀ ọ́. Ènìyàn wọ́n lè sí wẹ́wẹ́. Ènìyàn wọ́n lè sí wẹ́wẹ́. Wọ́n ti lù ní ọba lóru.
Orúkọ tèmi ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì tí gbogbo yín mọ̀ sí koikimedia. Gbogbo platform ni ó ti wà connected sórí system kan nísìnyí, ó yàtọ̀ sí bá ti ṣe lẹ́ẹ̀kan. Ẹ káàbọ̀ padà lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ìyá lálùbáríkà, ìyá mi ológbò mi, welcome on board. Mo kí ìyá mi tẹ́nitẹ́ni. Mr. Fatai Kazeem, mo kí yín. Ìyá mi Wùnmí Balógun, mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀ mo fi dárúkọ yín. A kú òǹgbẹ fún àwa tí à ń gbààwẹ̀ Ramadan. Ẹ máa ṣọ́ra fún gbogbo tẹ́ máa gbọ́ títí lẹ̀ máa fi ṣú lẹ́nu. Èmi ni April 1st, tó máa ń pè ní April Fool. Àmọ́ ìta wa ń ṣe ní ìbáyọ̀ kì í ṣe April Fool o. Eléyìí tí mo fẹ́ sọ lálẹ́ yìí confam ni, legit ni. Owó wọlé sí Nàìjíríà àmọ́ kò dọ́wọ́ gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà, ibi tí problem wà nìyẹn. 130 million Nigerians are living in abject poverty. Mo kí ìyàwó Táíwò Kíkẹ́ ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tẹ́ mọ̀ pé Nàìjíríà ń tajà kankan síta, èmi á sọ fún yín lálẹ́ pé à ń tajà tó pọ̀ àmọ́ kò kárí gbogbo Nàìjíríà ni. Àbí gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà ni. Once again, this is Koikimedia Live. First day of the month, a tún ti padà sórí program náà. Káyọ̀dé Fáṣọlá òun la ṣe ń gbọ́ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Kí ló dé tí Nàìjíríà ń tajà síta àmọ́ owó yẹn wọ́n fi ṣe nǹkan rere sínú Nàìjíríà? Why? Àwọn ìlú kéékèèké kan wà tó ń rajà lọ́wọ́ Nàìjíríà. Tá a bá ń wo àwọn gíráfù yẹn, ẹ máa wèrè pé báwo, how come? YouTube ti padà, gbogbo platform ti padà. Ìyàwó Wúràdé, the YouTube is back. YouTube is back because I can see my screen from this side. Ẹ refresh nítorí pé a ti kúrò lórí ìtàn wò lẹ́ẹ̀kan, a ti kúrò lórí yẹn, a ti padà sínú fresh program. Ẹ kàn refresh his device yìí. Mo kí bàbá wa Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè, mo kí bàbá wa CSI, mo kí Chief Imam ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, mo kí bàbá wa Ìbà Gani Adams, mo kí gbogbo àwọn ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Mo kí tèmi Wàlátà, mo kí Miss Gold, welcome on board. Àkókò ní ká fi ṣe program lẹ́ẹ̀kan àbí kílẹ̀ rò, torí pé ìdá ń bá lọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn ó ti ń wọ ara díẹ̀díẹ̀. Àkókò ní ká kó gbogbo ẹ̀ papọ̀ sójú kan kó má di pé kámẹ́rà ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni ẹ fi ń wò mí. Gbogbo ẹ ti wà lójú kan nísìnyí. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ gbogbo ẹ̀ ti padà wọlé. There's a lot that Nigeria should have done to so many people, but unfortunately, it has actually held 130 million people living in abject poverty. Mo kí bàbá wa Azeez Kazeem. Mo kí bàbá wa Ògúnmọ́lá Abíọ́dún. Kí bàbá Ọlá Ṣéwù ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Ama BTC welcome on board. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò mí ní United Kingdom. Màá máa kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò wá láti Nàìjíríà, ẹ̀yin gangan ni ẹni Kóìkì, ẹ̀yin gangan ni Koikimedia. And that is how far as it is. Let's first say thank you so much once again to those that are following Koikimedia. Earlier on, I was giving you a back end of our engagement in the month of March. Very busy as usual. Messages, comments, negative comment, positive comments, abusive, whatever it is. But I can say that Koikimedia did very well again in the month of March. And we can only be grateful to all our viewers, our audience, those that are watching us. 92,000 followers on this particular page. We have other pages as well. And the engagement continues to drive very, very well. It is because some of you wants to know what is happening with Yoruba Nation, what is happening around the world, what is happening with IGBOHO, Baba Akintoye, Yoruba Nation Titani. Some of you want to just come and look at the gossip and all that as well. But one thing I can say is we did not do bad again in the month of March. We actually did as best as we can, and we are also giving ourselves more target. So as we enter the month of April, I've set a target for ourselves. But like I say earlier, the month of March has been very good. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń wò wá láti Nigeria, especially those of you in Lagos State, as you can see there. More people are watching me from Lagos State. Ìlú ọgbọ́n, because wọ́n mọ̀ pé ọwọ́ Koiki rẹ̀ ti máa mú confam. 32.5% of you actually logged into Koikimedia in the month of March. Ìbàdàn vẹ́yìn, Ìlọrin, Abuja, Abẹ́òkúta, London, Àkúrẹ́, Òṣogbo, Adó-Èkìtì àti Aba. Some of the countries, Nigeria actually took 78.9%. So we actually had more people watching us coming to our page from Nigeria, as you can see right there from the data. The data on the left is for Facebook. The data on the right is for Instagram. UK went with about 4.3. So mo kí gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ wà lórí Instagram. Ẹ rí pé lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta kò sí problem because àti make it very comfortable for you. No problem. We have two phones that is streaming side by side. Ìkan wà tó jẹ́ Koikimedia. Ìkan dẹ̀ wà tó jẹ́ my personal handle, which is Olayomi Koiki. So the Instagram page went up by 9.7%. Not everybody is okay with Facebook, but people are there as soon as we are live on Instagram. And then learn one or two things. We might agree and we might disagree. United States as well is not doing very bad. Côte d'Ivoire, like I said earlier. So we are grateful to those of you that are part of us, okay? And we will not disappoint you. We will continue to work extremely hard. Last month, Facebook page visit about 31,724. It actually went down a little bit, but it picked up in between some of the months. So as we continue to work hard to make sure that we have the right content that you can listen to, you can read. Our team are working extremely hard. As long as it's got to do with what I'm doing, which is Yoruba Nation, you can send it to me at info@koikimedia.com. Mr. Delani ni Koiki Oduduwa, I am sure the $57 billion have been shared among the kabars. Well, a ṣe ń bọ̀ lórí yẹn. Gbogbo iná lè máa láǹfààní àti pé mo kàn fún yín ní iṣẹ́ tẹ́ gbé lé mi lọ́wọ́ tí mo ṣe ní month of March. And we are grateful. None of this page had any advert. Neither is it monetized. Our Facebook is not monetized. It's just there for engagement, for those that wants to come and, get information. It is not your Amala joint. If you come there, I can assure you that if I don't see your comment, even after 3 weeks, somebody will write on that comment and it will pop up on my screen and I'll read it as well. And I'm sure some of you understand that as well. So a lot of our engagement continue, and we are again grateful to all our fans. Like I said, this is a page that is not monetized. Our YouTube was monetized, but that has been removed. It's not the end of the world. But the Facebook is not monetized. As you can see there, we are actually growing numbers of people. Return viewers about 832 between one particular week from last week to Friday. 48.5K complete views. So that means people that come there, come and snoop. Kí ni Koiki sọ, kí ló ti rí, ó promise wa ní Yoruba Nation kò tí bọ̀ sí, but at least we are still using the platform to educate you. So this is what it used to be. As you can see there, those of you that understand all these graphs and all that. And as you can see there again, return viewers in the month of February was 1,660. In March, at the beginning of the first week of March, it picked up with 1,227. It dropped down a little bit. Then towards the last week of March, it was about 832. I want returning viewers. They just have to keep coming back, as well. Engaged followers. In the month of March, 4th of March, títí dé 31st, we had 14,567,000 engaged followers. Or dropped there from the previous period, which was about 23,853. And I think the reason why that was busy was because of the election period and all that, with a lot of things that I was also posting during the month of election. But we're also making sure that we can keep up to that tab. And that is about it for those of you that understand how these things work. Or at least it shows that people are coming onto the page. And like I said, we do not do any advert. It's not necessary for now. So that is about that. Now, the real conversation tonight, depending on how far I can go, is just 7 minutes past 6 p.m. It might not be a long one, but definitely we will have enough information to take away as usual. I will speak in Yoruba and I'll speak in English because I'm actually speaking to every Nigerian right now, whether they are Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Kanuri, the 3 or the 700 or whatever ethnic group that British kept together, and they expect us to live side by side, which has been a big problem. We will start with a beautiful anthem, and then after the anthem, we go straight to the program.
Again. No going back. Ìgbòho òòṣà, iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ ń tẹ̀síwájú. Mr. Koiki ẹ ṣé o, àwọn ọmọ mi ló ń kí yín o. Àwọn ọmọ mi ló ń kí yín o. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, a máa délẹ̀ lérí o lórúkọ Jésù. Yorùbá nation.
And that's our beautiful children. And good evening and welcome once again to this live transmission. It is 1st of April, 2023. My name is OLAMILEKAN and it's just coming up to 12 minutes past 6 p.m. or 12 minutes past 1800 hours. Truth and questions. Thank you so much. Let's go into it. Nigeria made a lot of money last 2 years ago, but our question has been, why then have we struggled as a country? Why is Nigeria backwards? Are we not making money? Is the money not going to the right places to be used to make sure that Nigerians can live a better life? If you look at the 2019 data, which is right here, this one here, okay? The 2019, we actually made $38.6 billion in the total import, in the total export. 1 minute, I'm sure. Nigeria export was 4.5. Let's just stick to the 2000 so that we don't mix it up. Let's stick to the one that we are dealing with now, which is service, export and import. No, we don't need the service. We need product, export and import. In 2021, which is just about 2 years ago, Nigeria made a lot of money from export. Export is just export. In Tatasita, in export. When you take something out of Nigeria, you take it to another country, as long as it is trade by barter that left Nigeria to another country, it becomes an export. Èyí tá bá dá padà sínú Nigeria, òun ni import, èyí tá gbé wọlé nìyẹn. So, in Tatasita, òun la fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí nírọ̀lẹ́. So, gbogbo data tẹ́ ń wò yìí is coming from the oec.world. You can also go there. It's very, very easy. You can just type in OEC, OECD countries, no, OEC, not OECD, OEC countries, and, it will take you through what they call the Observatory of Economic Complex. That is the full meaning of the website. And when you get to the website, you can just type in from the search engine, Nigeria, so that and it will come up like this and say, Nigeria is a country. It is still a country according to the international community. So if anybody is saying otherwise, they're probably not in reality. Nigeria is still a sovereign nation, and there are so many countries. So tabani afe gba country, ile mo fẹ́ kẹ́yìn tí wọ́n parọ́ fún pé ti gba country. There are so many things that is locked into Nigeria. Ẹni tó ní wọ́n ti gba country, òun gan mọ̀ pé ẹni tó lock sínú Nigeria kò ṣe kékeré, but they can give you fabu pé àwọn ti gba country. But I just want you to put your mind here now. So you click on Nigeria, it start loading, and it's just the same thing that I've just opened here, which is what is just open here. So we'll sync up until the níbẹ̀. Again, go to Google, type in OEC countries, or you can just type OEC Nigeria, and it will just pop it up as well. So very, very easy. And when you click on that, it will just take you straight to Nigeria one. So it's called OEC, Oscar Echo Charlie. Báwa ṣe máa ń pè nílò ẹni ẹ̀fẹ́ tó bá fẹ́ get it the full whatever it is. So èyí tí mo ṣe níbí báyìí, òun náà lélẹ̀ tí bá dẹ̀ wá sọ́wọ́ sàlẹ̀ is the same discussion la fi sọ̀rọ̀ lórí. So a lè lo eléyìí, mo lè close eléyìí, kò mátà, ìkan náà ni, kò sí yàtọ̀. Eléyìí ò dàbí criminal òmìnira 2022 tó sọ fún yín pé wọ́n fi gba 5 million petition lọ́wọ́ gbogbo wa, is dead, completely dead. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ fi gba country nìyẹn. Ẹni tó fẹ́ gba country tí kò lè maintain website, ẹni tó ń sọ fún yín pé àwọn ti gba country, just a normal website wọ́n lè keep it. So kí ló dé tó ṣe discontinue website yẹn? Ṣé kí Koiki má bàa máa lọ síbẹ̀ láti fẹ́ mọ kí ló wà níbẹ̀? So you don't cherry ẹ̀yin tẹ́ and follow Yoruba Nation. I want you to understand something. Information is not something you just say, àbẹ̀jẹ̀ come on bá wa dàrú. It's all lies. Information is there for the public. Bóyá má yẹ ká mọ̀ tán ṣe, irọ́ ló wà níbẹ̀. So the moment they start talking like that, it's indicates straight away is a flag up. Wọ́n hide kankan. Àbẹ̀jẹ̀ ká máa ṣírí wa, ìta ṣe ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀rí kan má bàa dí wa lọ́wọ́, irọ́ ló wà níbẹ̀. Okay? Irọ́ ló wà níbẹ̀. Eléyìí tí mò ń kà yín nísìn, tábà ní ká tẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ history àwọn wo ló wà behind OEC yìí. Let's just go and find out OEC. What is it? I just want to find out. Kí ni àwọn wo ló wà behind it? It's called the Observatory of Economic Complexity. It's a data visualization site for international trade data created by the Macro Connection Group of the MIT Media Lab. The goal of the observatory is to distribute international trade data in a virtual form. So èyí tí ìyá yẹn tó ń sọ pé àfẹ́jẹ́ kan mọ̀ nǹkan tá à ń ṣe, it's all lies. Website táwọn create nísìn, òun ni ó ti wọlé nísìn, ó ti lulẹ̀, kò ṣiṣẹ́. But àwọn Yorùbá tó ń tẹ̀lé wọn is because a lot of you are not understanding in tí a gbé dání. Teba understand it. If you understand what we are talking about, you would understand that it's all lies. It's lies. It's all. Because even if this website is down, it should take you to the new one. The technology is there. So what they've done is they just come around, fabu everybody, and say we have declared a country, and then when they print newspaper, paper, we documents here. Documents will not solve. We are now talking about Nigeria here right now. Àwọn ìlú tó fẹ́ bá Nigeria ṣe, they just have to go right here now, and they can see, okay, India is buying a lot of our crude oil. Okay, maybe our náà máa rà sí. And anybody can go to this website and you will then be able to do whatever you want to do, just as we're going to do today, right now. So again, we understood what the meaning of observatory of economic complexity. The Nigerian economy is based on this information that I'm about to give you. This information that I'm about to share with you this evening is part of what any other country around the world will check so that they can know the kind of business or whatever they are doing, Yoruba, what's it called? So I want us to remember all the time that they can tell you lies that they've got a country, but I am saying to you, Yoruba nation is not yet a country. We want a country, yes. The country has not been achieved yet. It is still a mission. It is still a movement. It will eventually come. But I want us to first ask the question is, ṣé torí Fúlàní tó ń pa wá la ṣe fẹ́ Yorùbá nation? No. It is because products are getting out of Nigeria and it's not giving return to the average Nigerian in wherever part they are. And that is why Nigerians still remain the capital poverty of the world. So let's go into it gradually. Nigeria exports a lot of produce. Let's first skip to Emabinu. Let's open it again. Nigeria exports a lot of different products. Oríṣiríṣi nǹkan ló máa export. So some of those things kò pọ̀ púpọ̀ náà. Tá bá ní ká compare pẹ̀lú ìlú kan tá à ń wò ní àná Dominican Republic. Ẹ rántí Dominican Republic. Ẹ rántí pé Dominican Republic ni a ti rí ọ̀rọ̀ OCD yìí. OEC. Yeah. Ẹ rántí pé àwọn gangan ni là ń follow kíní tí wọ́n àtẹ̀wò pé Nàìjíríà náà tẹ̀ ní tiẹ̀. Tá bá lọ wo Dominican Republic yìí tá fi ń ṣe program lánàá. Ẹ wá dúró nǹkan táwọn export. How many people can see the difference? How many people can understand the difference? Can you see that this small island is actually producing a lot of things for export compared to Nigeria? Can you see it? Ẹ wo ti Nigeria, ẹ wo gbogbo nǹkan táwa export. This is just about it. Tabanika kà ní number crude petroleum, petroleum gas, refined petroleum, tin oils, electricity, zinc ore, niobium, tantalum, vanadium, and zirconium ore, lead ore, quota. Sorry, let's start again. Crude petroleum, number 1. Petroleum gas, number 2. Refined petrol, number 3. Tin ore, number 4. Electricity, number 5. Lead ore, number 6. Niobium, tantalum, vanadium, and zirconium ore, number 7. Zinc ore, number 8. Other mineral product, number 9. Quota, number 10. Feldspar, number 11. Float glass, number 12. So if we look at Nigeria export àti ìlú yìí, ta ló jẹ́ kó máa export nǹkan jù? Ṣebí Nigeria ló tóbi, but rather Nigeria is not doing a lot. But èyí tí wọ́n export, is it coming back to the people? Are the people making use of it? Who is making money from the export of our products out of Nigeria? Is it an average politician? Is it the average Nigerian? These are the questions that I want you to ask yourself. So we're going to start with the crude petroleum this evening. When we look at the crude petroleum, just like I told you earlier before we lost the the broadcast earlier, Indian ló ń ra epo tó pọ̀ jù lọ́wọ́ wa, crude oil. Indian is buying to the value of $8.11 billion. That is what Indian is actually paying Nigeria for our crude oil. 19.4% percentage. That is $8.11 billion. The next country is Spain. Spain is actually also buying our crude oil because they need it for their country to the value of $5.38 billion at percentage of 12.9%. France is also buying our crude oil at the export value of $2.55 billion. Netherlands is just a country of 17 million. Just as I said earlier, an average person that lives in Netherlands is earning equivalent of 1.3 million naira every month ní owó Nigeria. And this is a country that is just 17 million, but wọ́n ra epo lọ́wọ́ wa to the tune of $2.11 billion ìyẹn ní 2021 at about percentage of 5.05%. I want you to take note of Netherlands. Again, Netherlands is the high mark of the country that we're going to start talking about in a few minutes. United Kingdom, tell me what, àwa náà ra epo díẹ̀díẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ Nigeria to the value of $1.19 billion. Even though there has been a lot of different information out there pé àwọn crude oil kan wọ UK tí UK ò sanwó fún Nigeria. Àmọ́ ìdí tí UK ṣe máa gbẹpo lọ́wọ́ wa tí wọ́n ní sanwó. Ṣé torí àwọn ni wọ́n colonize wa ni àbí there are some other shady deals that is going on underneath that we don't know. These I just want you to put at your right chest. Ẹ má yẹ kí yẹn sọnù. Because UK nísìnyí tí wọ́n fẹ́ kéré but a mọ̀ pé it's just oyè yìí. Now ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo Germany. Germany also is buying to the tune of $1.13 billion ìyẹ́po crude oil lọ́dọ̀ Nigeria. Another country like that is Portugal. Àwọn náà ra epo tó pọ̀ at the tune of $1.5 billion. Italy, àwọn náà gbẹ̀yìn. Italy náà ra epo lọ́wọ́ wa at the tune of $1.74 billion. Poland náà gbẹ̀yìn. Àwọn náà ra tátàtà at $887 million. Gibraltar is also buying to the tune of $413 million. Switzerland, àwọn náà gbẹ̀yìn, àwọn náà ra epo lọ́dọ̀ wa to the tune of $407 million at about 0.97 in terms of the percentage. Sweden náà gbẹ̀yìn, Sweden náà ra crude oil lọ́wọ́ Nigeria at the value of $427 million. Again, Denmark, àwọn òlú kékèké but Netherlands la máa lò later. Àwọn náà gbẹ̀yìn, àwọn náà ra tátàtà $231 million ni wọ́n rà. Crude oil ni mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ o tí gbogbo wọn rà lọ́wọ́ wa. Now, Greece is a small island. Gbogbo population wọn náà pọ̀. Àwọn náà ní àwọn ní márùn epo lọ́dọ̀ tiwa. Àwọn náà gbàtà bá sàdé epo wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ rà lọ́wọ́ wa. They are buying to the tune of $80.9 million. Yoruba Nation is the answer to Nigeria ex-petroleum minister $12 million breast bra budget. Ìyẹn Dezeni ló ra breast bra yẹn tí my brother Waris Jinadu rán wa létí. Croatia, àwọn náà ra epo díẹ̀díẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ wa $79.1 million. Norway náà gbẹ̀yìn $17.5 million. Czechia, àwọn náà ra value of $11.8 million. Belgium $66.1 million. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún padà sínú red bracket yẹn. Indonesia náà ra epo tó pọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wa to the value of $1.93 billion. So àwọn yẹn ní ìdẹ́pọ̀ yẹn tó pọ̀. Singapore náà gbẹ̀yìn wọ́n ra epo lọ́wọ́ wa to the tune of 1.74%, which is about $728 million. Thailand, àwọn náà gbẹ̀yìn $669 million. Turkey, àwọn náà gbẹ̀yìn wọ́n ra epo lọ́wọ́ wa to the tune of $518 million. Chinese Taipei, àwọn náà ra epo lọ́wọ́ wa $118 million. Brunei, àwọn náà ra epo at the tune of $98.6 million. China náà gbẹ̀yìn, àwọn náà ra tátàtà to the tune of $1.2 billion. South Korea is also buying crude oil from Nigeria to the value of $507 million. Vietnam is buying to the tune of $88.1 million. Àwọn Israel, báwa ṣe ń gbé religion lọ sọ́dọ̀ tí wọ́n ta lọ ń náwó síbẹ̀, àwọn náà náwó lọ́dọ̀ tiwa, wọ́n ra crude oil $86.7 million. Àwọn United Arab Emirates, àwọn ò fún yín ní visa bí, but wọ́n ṣà ń ṣe business pẹ̀lú wa, àwọn náà ra epo díẹ̀díẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wa $57.5 million, ìyẹn crude petroleum. Malaysia náà gbẹ̀yìn $29.5 million. South Korea náà ò gbẹ̀yìn bọ́ọ̀tẹ̀ fún wa ní visa láti lọ síbẹ̀, àwọn náà rà tó pọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wa $2.17 billion. Côte d'Ivoire, àwọn náà gbẹ̀yìn, wọ́n ra díẹ̀díẹ̀, àwọn náà rà púpọ̀ $1.28 billion. Togo, àwọn náà tẹ̀ ń rà lọ́wọ́ wa, even though pé wọ́n ra náà lọ́wọ́ wa, gbogbo nǹkan làwọn tẹ̀ ń rà lọ́dọ̀ tiwa, because Africa, gbogbo wọn believe pé Nigeria is a big brother. So $413 million. Ghana, our neighbor wa, ìmì àtàwọn Star Radio, àwọn náà ra epo lọ́dọ̀ wa $103 million. Senegal, àwọn náà gbẹ̀yìn, àwọn náà ra tátàtà, wọ́n ra to the tune of $460 million. America náà wọ́n ní máa ra epo lọ́dọ̀ tiwa torí wọ́n láìkì epo wa dáadáa díẹ̀, àwọn náà ra $2.84 billion at about 6.78%. Canada, ẹ̀yin tí ara Canada mo kí yín, ẹ̀yin náà ra epo ní Nàìjíríà at the tune of $1.4 billion. Brazil, àwọn náà rà díẹ̀díẹ̀ $594 million. Uruguay, $396 million. Peru, $269 million. Chile, $63.2 million. These are all the countries around the world as at 2021 that bought our crude oil. And the total value, let me increase the front a little bit so we can see what I'm doing here. So the total value of the destination ni mo sọ yẹn, but total value crude oil tata ní 2021 is $41.8 billion. Mo kí grandma Lé Ajayi. Sí lórí Twitter ní Amaze Gold. Wàhálà tí mo ti ṣe léèní lórí ọ̀rọ̀ kìíní tí mo ti post ẹ̀ káàkiri dé Twitter, Instagram nìkan lọ́nà tó mo ti post lórí Twitter, ó wà lórí Twitter already. Hello. Mo wà lórí show ṣe mo bẹ́ẹ̀. Mo wà lórí ètò ní ẹ̀dá sọ̀rọ̀ later. Sọ̀rọ̀ later mo wà lórí program rẹ̀. So mo fẹ́ kí iye wa máa bèrè pé there is no problem if we are doing business with countries around the world. First thing I want us to put at the back of our mind, Eunice, good evening to you and welcome to the program, is that, yeah, I've already posted all this on Twitter. Even I posted the video. I made a video already of what I'm doing right now, a short video. If you go on our Twitter and it's also even on our YouTube. There's a lot of video that I post that is not live video. So you need to continue to go to the short videos, because some of you probably don't do that. I don't know. So if you go on my page, this has been posted right there, and only 120 people have watched it, because I'm sure that video would have gone very, very well. But people don't understand. That's the video there. I actually produced that myself in the studio. And you can see, let's see what I said here. Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Mo fẹ́ ká jọ wo these data So I've actually posted this. It's on our YouTube right there for anybody that wants to, share it with somebody. And the video is just under it's just 10 minutes 41 seconds. But this kind of video doesn't go viral because an average Nigeria is just stupid. They're asking that they're suffering, but the sufferness is what I've just exposed. Ẹlòmíì ò gbọ́rú kan báyìí rí láyé ẹ̀. Nítorí sọ fún mi tẹ́mi náà rí tẹ́lẹ̀. Definitely, I can tell you that so many people have not seen it. But we hope that people will watch the video. I posted it 4 hours ago. Only 120 people have watched it so far. Not a problem. I don't get tired. I don't live in Nigeria. I live far away from Nigeria, okay? I live in UK. The same UK that is also buying our crude oil. So every day, as long as I'm not driving, but if I'm driving, I will just go and buy petrol without any stress. So let's come back. Let's look at Netherlands. Okay? Netherlands is a country that bought a lot of our crude oil as well, to the tune of 2.63 billion US dollars. And I've gone back to Netherlands here. Their population is 17 million. Their minimum wage that we checked, this country called Netherlands, minimum wage one is 1,635 euro. We brought it back to pound sterling. That's about 1,440 pounds. We took it to Nigeria money today. That's also about 1.3 million naira at the exchange rate of 920 naira today. I want Nigerians to ask the question, where did Netherlands got the money to be able to buy almost 2.63 billion US dollars worth of crude oil? A country that is just under 17 million. Where did they get the money from? I know that's what they all, people are watching and listening to, especially on TikTok and Instagram, as long as it's not what we're saying there, yeah, they're not interested. Why is Netherlands, that the capital is Amsterdam, with the population as at the same 2021, was able to buy from Nigeria the value of $2.63 billion of crude oil? Hold on to that first, because they're not just buying our crude oil. So Netherlands spent $2.63 billion. It's quite a lot of money buying our crude oil. They also bought something, and that's also at about 4.56%. Kini GDP Netherlands. Let's look at their GDP today. Their GDP means that 2 billion is just a chicken change for a country like Netherlands. As you can see, that the GDP of Netherlands, that is just 17 million population, GDP one is giving us one trillion US dollars. That is a staggering amount of money for a country that is just less than 20 million, not up to Lagos State. Let's look at the GDP of Nigeria together. Nigeria GDP. The GDP of Nigeria in 2021 will hit a target 1 trillion. So Netherlands actually beat Nigeria to it when it comes to their GDP. This is Nigerian GDP. Iloshi. And I pity those that say Nigeria is going to work. You will die before Nigeria will work, which is never going to work. So saying Nigeria is going to work is like saying up NEPA since 63 years. So in 2021, nínú owó tí Nàìjíríà pa láti bíbà, which is, 50. I'm coming. Make sure. Let's go back one step. A very good evening and welcome. The total export is 57 billion, but crude oil fúnra rẹ̀ nínú ẹ̀ ló fún wa ní a bigger share. I want you to take note of that. The total owó tá make ní 2021 is 57 billion fún export. So nínú GDP náà ni owó yẹn náà ló máa add mọ́. But kí ló dé tí Netherlands in ET $1 trillion, whereas àwa ò lè make $1 trillion as a country? I want us to first think about that. We are big. We have the human power. We have the land, the arable land. We have whatever it takes. But kí ló dé tí Nigeria making $1 trillion ní 2021? Ìyá wa Teresa ń béèrè pé, where are the money going? Is a question that I'm asking everybody tonight as well. Bí àtàbárẹ̀ tó lè help me out. Níbo ni gbogbo owó tí Nigeria make ní 2021? Àṣìbọ̀ nìyẹn. Àṣìkọ́kọ́ compare ìlú méjèèjì. Netherlands making $1 trillion ní 2021, their GDP. Nigeria hit 440. This is why we are saying that Nigeria seems to be too big to give us a lot of money and make our life better. Let us break it down so that we can then start talking about each country making either 480 billion or 1 trillion, just as Netherlands is doing. That literally means that Netherlands is not worried to spend $2 billion from buying crude oil from Nigeria, which is what we have here. So Tabalowo, Netherlands, where is Netherlands? Yeah, you can see there. So Netherlands spending $2 billion is because they need to continue to produce and they can hit more money, and buying crude oil from Nigeria is nothing. But they also bought something from Nigeria. In mamu gbogbo ẹ̀ in chunk so that kò ní dàrú mọ́ wa lójú. I'm just going to stick to the crude oil, but ìdí tí mo ṣe fẹ́ wọnú cocoa beans yẹn is because earlier on I saw that it is the same Netherlands that bought a lot of our cocoa beans. A fẹ́ dúró lórí crude oil yẹn and ask questions and questions and questions around it before we move to another, product tí Nigeria export. So ẹ jẹ́ ká wo cocoa beans. Again, cocoa beans, it has proved that Nigeria also sold good amount of cocoa beans in 2021 to the value of $779 million. The same Netherlands, ló tún ra 40.6% of our cocoa. That give them to pay Nigeria $360 million. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ọmọgbọ́lá wọ́n sọ pé the money spent on infrastructure development without CCTV inside the train, transportation and sector like that. Now, if Netherlands is spending this money, kí ló ń fi kòkó yẹn ṣe? Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo again Netherlands. Chocolate value. Kí ni value chocolate pẹ̀lú àwọn ìlú tó ń pè ní Netherlands? Let's look at the information we have here based on Google. In 2023, the approximate price range for Netherlands chocolate is between $4.62 and $4.72 per kilogram, or between $2.1 or 2.14 per pound. That is what Netherlands is selling their own chocolate. But àwọn ò ní chocolate yẹn, and it's also giving us here from what? Okay, now a tún máa padà sí ti Netherlands ní the same OEC yìí. So ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo data tí wọ́n mo fẹ́ wá chocolate. Okay, I think it's here. Òun náà lọ gbọ́ àyè. I hope we're right. Let me be sure because ó kàn pé chocolate yẹn wá, so I want to be sure. Import, export. Okay, màá get ẹ̀ nísìn. A máa wo export ìtọ́ra láti Nàìjíríà. So wọ́n la máa fi mọ̀. So ìtàwọn export jáde ní ọwọ́ right. Ìtọ́ import wọlé, which will be the cocoa. Mo fẹ́ bí i Nàìjíríà wá. Yeah, mo rí Nàìjíríà. Yeah, Nàìjíríà lélẹ̀. Mo rí Nàìjíríà nísìn. So import value of $285,000. I'm still lost here. If we get it, let's do something. In 2021, okay, that's a costly buy. So it might help me if you know we're chatting because we'll get to chatting. In 2021, Netherlands exported $1.99 billion in chocolate, making it the 5th largest exporter of chocolate in the world. At the same year, chocolate was 60th most exported product in Netherlands. The main destination ibi tó ń tà sí is Netherlands export to Germany, France, Belgium, United Kingdom and Spain. I won't be surprised pé wọ́n export ẹ̀ padà sí Nàìjíríà náà. Àwa ń ta raw material fún wọn, àwọn ń ta finished good fáwa. Ẹ rí pé we have a brain. Once again, a very good evening and welcome to the program. A very good evening and welcome as we continue our transmission live. So, the main destination tó ń lọ Germany, France, Belgium and United Kingdom. Ẹ mọ̀ pé oríṣiríṣi wèrè àtàsínwín ló wà lórí social media. Ìkànnì wọn ni ẹ ti rí tó ń kọ́mẹ́ǹtì jàgbàjántìsì yẹn. Dádì tí ẹ lò bá lọ bèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ pé gbà ló máa gba Yorùbá nation, àwọn ọmọ àlẹ́ Yorùbá. 2021, Netherlands export 1.99 billion. But àwa tí a ní the actual resources, àwa ta natural resources yẹn jáde. Rather than making the cocoa as our main business, tó máa fáwọn náà ní owó tó pọ̀. Rather kò fún wa lówó tó pọ̀. At least èmi gbìyànjú ju dáàdì tí lọ tí kò sọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation. So if anybody say pé àti gba Yorùbá nation, ẹ kọ́kọ́ lọ bí parent yín pé kí ló dé tí wọ́n ṣe gba Yorùbá nation fáwa. Tèmi fi dé age 40, tẹ́yìn náà fi dé age tí làákàyè yín wà. So ó jẹ́ kẹ́ bèrè lọ́wọ́ bàbá yín àti ìyá yín àti àwọn family yín pé Yoruba nation, kí ló dé tẹ́ jẹ́ ká rí gbà? At least I have educated and I've made the push, and we are still making the push. So there's so many crazy people. So let's just focus back on the program. So my question now is, if this country that is not up to Lagos State is doing very well with their GDP, and there's so many other citizens, ṣe feel pé ọmọ Netherlands máa jáde kúrò nínú Netherlands láti lọ struggle bí ọmọ Nàìjíríà ṣe ń jáde, because ọmọ Nàìjíríà ó ń jáde kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà léraléra because Nigeria has not become a conducive place for us, even though we have cocoa and we have crude oil, which is the two things that we are discussing this evening. Let's go back again to the crude oil. In 2021, looking at this chart today now, I'm asking those of us that are asking for the right to self-determination, having given you all the names of all these countries that bought our crude oil, which one of them do you think will be ready to let Nigeria break? looking at all the countries right in front of you. India, Spain, France, Netherlands, UK, Germany, Portugal, and all that. Ìlú mélòó lẹ́yìn feel lọ́kàn pé lára àwọn ìlú yìí o, they will support the breakup of Nigeria. And you can see why I tell people that just as that crazy person asking stupid question fẹ́ kó lọ bí bàbá àti ìyá ẹ̀ nínú ilé tó wá ń bí èmi ọmọ inú wọn bàbá tó bí kò bí pé kí ló dé tí kò sọpọ́ọ̀tì breakup of Nigeria tèmi fi sọpọ́ọ̀tì bàbá Kíntóyè ẹ jẹ́ kí dáadé yín kó lọ sọpọ́ọ̀tì. So ìlú wo nínú àwọn ìlú yìí ló máa sọ pé kí Biafra máa lọ? Because a mọ̀ pé crude oil tí wọ́n ń gbọ́n nínú Nigeria is coming from that part of the region and Niger Delta àti gbogbo area yẹn. Ìlú wo ló máa sọ fún wa pé àwọn máa jẹ́ kí Nigeria pín? Currently bá ṣe ń pariwo right to self, even though it's our right, even though United Nations says so. So those of you that are not understanding that we have countries like these that are buying our crude oil from Nigeria, and yet we want to stop the trade, we want to stop and change the new policy, because the moment Nigeria break up, should Nigeria break up today, these countries will no longer be dealing with Nigeria, they will be dealing with countries that owns that natural resources. And today, just as I say to you, nínú fídíò tá a wò lánàá, ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ gbé fídíò yẹn jáde wálé nǹkan sí quickly. Ẹ rántí fídíò tá a wò, giving us the background of whether countries are supported and the country that did not support. Let's quickly play that video. Ẹ rántí fídíò yẹn. Ta ló take his side?
If you enjoy high-quality animated history documentaries, visit History Marsh YouTube channel. Explore kingdoms and so Israel. And given that both sides were
Let's start from the beginning. So now, mo fẹ́ take wa padà sí ogun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà ní 1967, 68, 69, 70 for 3 years. Àwọn ìlú kan support Biafra, àwọn kan support, àwọn tó support náà for their own interest or the interest of what was happening around the world. Mo fẹ́ ká tún fọ ara balẹ̀ ká wo screen lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí tó bá lè screenshot ẹ̀. But all this is already on my own page. All you need to do there is just go and save it and study it. And then start asking ourselves that, ṣé diplomacy la máa fi gba Yorùbá nation ní ṣálóòtọ́? Ṣé a máa fi diplomacy àbí àwọn Yorùbá politician, because lára àwọn tó wà ní senate yìí òun ni Yorùbá politician. Gbogbo epo tó ń tà ní Nàìjíríà àwọn senator yìí mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀. Gbogbo epo tó ń tà ní Nàìjíríà àwọn House of Rep mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀. So each one of the federal and the state has an idea. Tí kò bá ń ṣe gbogbo wọn, at least àwọn gómìnà yìí gbọ́dọ̀ mọ iye tí Nàìjíríà ń pa lórí owó epo, so that kán lè mọ iye tí àwọn náà máa gbà lọ́wọ́ federal government kó tó di pé owó yẹn máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí channel wá sísàlẹ̀ bit by bit, bit by bit. My question tonight is, based on this crude petroleum information that we have with us today, ìyẹn mo ṣe fẹ́ ká rọ́ṣẹ̀ a lè discuss eléyìí léra bí ẹ̀mejì mẹ́ta kó lè yé gbogbo wa dáadáa. Ìlú wo nínú gbogbo àwọn ìlú tá à ń wò yìí ló máa sọ pé kí Nàìjíríà kò break? Tó bá tẹ̀ máa sọ pé kí Nàìjíríà kò break, ṣáwọn ló máa jáde sọ fún wa pé ló máa kóbọn fún wa pé ká lọ jà, àbáwá la máa kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ wàhálà táwọn bá tẹ̀ máa support? Mo fẹ́ ká fìyẹn sí back of our mind. But ẹ jẹ́ ká wo fídíò yìí. We played it yesterday. Let's refresh our mind again around it.
And normal.
I'm going to stand up because it's 4 minutes so I can stretch my leg. Mo tin ba wa no plane. Ó yẹ kó máa stretch ẹsẹ̀. Inú plane de la wà báyìí. So I'm going to stretch my leg while I come back as well. Once again, mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. And a very good afternoon and welcome. to the program. Yoruba nation would happen, but is it going to happen? I'm going to make my mic. It's 4 minutes. Let's enjoy. When I come back, then we will start asking the question again. Ṣé àwọn ìlú yìí máa jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà kó pín àbí wọn jẹ́ kó pín?
Those civil wars would see the US-led West on one side with the communist world on the other. But when the Nigerian Civil War kicked off in 1967 and saw this region break away as the Republic of Biafra, the sides were much less clear. The Nigerian government was backed by the UK, the USA, sort of, the USSR and Israel, whereas Biafra was backed by the People's Republic of China, France, and also Israel. And given that both sides were such a confusing mess, this raises an obvious question. What on earth happened? Why did the Nigerian Civil War have such weird sides? So, like many conflicts in Africa during the Cold War, the roots of the Nigerian Civil War can be traced back to the end of colonial rule there. Nigeria gained its independence from Britain in 1963, and it was a very diverse country made up of many different peoples, whom Britain clumped together because it made the map look nicer. In the north, the largest region in the country, the House of Fulani people were dominant, and they were the ones who made up the majority of Nigeria's military and were predominantly Muslim. The Yoruba were the largest group in the southwest, and they were the wealthiest, and their region housed Nigeria's current capital. And the southeast was mostly made up of the IGBOHO people, whose land was home to much of Nigeria's massive oil reserves. Long story short, after Britain left, the three groups couldn't decide on where the capital would stay, how much autonomy everyone would get, and who would be allowed into the army. In 1966, there was a military coup, shortly followed by a counter-coup, and honestly, a lot of people were purged. Ethnic violence exploded and hundreds of thousands of Igbo people fled to the southeast, and leaders there opted to break away in 1967. The Nigerian leadership didn't accept this, and so, civil war. So why were the supporters of each side so varied? Well, the main supporter of the Nigerian government was Britain, who, as their former colonial overlord, felt passionately about the well-being of the Nigerian state, and just kidding, it was oil. British companies controlled about 90% of Nigeria's oil production, most of which went to Britain, and if the Biafran Republic had gained its independence, it may have lost said oil. As such, the British provided lots of guns and lots of money to the Lagos government. The US government wasn't too keen on all of the murder going on, but it wanted to support Britain, which meant not really getting involved. And despite America's empathy for the Igbo, if Biafra seceded, it could have potentially led to other movements springing up across Africa. And civil wars tended to see communist support rise, which meant that Biafra would get no help from the USA. Like its rivals, the Soviet government also supported Nigeria. Not for any moral reasons, but for political and economic ones. The Nigerian government was looking for some planes, which the USSR certainly had to spare, and since Britain had refused to provide them, that meant that there was money to be made. It was also hoped that help in the civil war would improve relations with Nigeria, which was one of the most influential nations on the continent. However, the Soviets had to be smart about their support, since if they became too influential in Nigeria, they knew that the Americans would get involved. As such, they pressured Britain to provide more military aid by threatening to do it themselves if they refused. This was a bluff since they didn't actually want to do this, but it allowed Britain to believe that they were fighting communism in Africa, when in fact their continued support was keeping the United States uninvolved by making it look like that the Soviets were failing to win influence in Nigeria. As for Biafra, they had three main material supporters: France, China, and Israel. France supported the Igbo, mostly because of their deep concern for their well-being, and oh wait no, it was also oil. France, much like Britain, had oil companies in the region, and if Biafra managed to break away, France could have got some of it. Nigerian victory also worried the French government, who saw Nigeria as being too large and populous. There were concerns that a successful Nigeria could influence France's former colonies around it and diminish its clout in the region. As for China, they had just had a very public falling out with the Soviet Union, and since the USSR was backing Nigeria, China had to do the opposite and so funneled arms to Biafra. It also helped China in trying to establish itself as an independent communist leader with its own reach and influence across the world. The last country which was deeply involved was Israel. Israel was in a tough spot, since politically siding with the Nigerian government would have helped to improve relations with the rest of the continent. Since up until this point, the vast majority of independent African states opposed Israel due to the Palestine conflict. Domestically though, the Israeli people supported the Igbo, and so Israel's government opted to help both. In the end, the support for Biafra did little, and in 1970 it was recaptured and formally reintegrated into Nigeria. And after this, the Nigerian Civil War would not only be remembered for its brutality, but also the peculiar sides that the rest of the world took in the conflict. I hope you enjoyed this episode and thank you for watching, with a special thanks to my patrons,
James Bizanet, Kelly Moneymaker, Caution.
So, thank you so much to History Matters that owns the right to that video. Now, I'm now asking the question again. On OLAMILEKAN Yoruba Nation. The number is +44 74 04 40 5917. ọ̀nà wo la máa gbà tí a fi máa rí Yorùbá nation gbà. Ṣé diplomacy ni? Ṣé pressure ni? Ṣé tá bá stop export of crude oil kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà, ṣé ó lè trigger nǹkan kan lágbàáyé tí a bá jẹ́ kí port wa ṣiṣẹ́ débi pé wá máa gbépo síta tó fi máa tà fẹ́ anybody? Ṣèbí torí wọ́n sì ń rí epo rà nínú Nàìjíríà ní gbogbo kan sì ń lọ rọ́bọ́rọ́bọ́. Tí wọ́n bá rí epo gbé jáde kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà, kí lẹ rò pé ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí gbogbo àwọn ìlú tó ń ra epo yìí? Because kò ń ṣe nǹkan ló ń ra epo yìí, bit by bit ni. I don't think India just buy, the whole 8 billion worth of crude oil in 2021 in one go. Was it bought in one go, or do you think they were buying it bit by bit? And the same goes to France, Spain, Gibraltar, Switzerland, Turkey, China, Indonesia, Singapore. Do you think that if we have blocked the port and the Nigerian soldiers start killing us, but that port remains blocked completely, do you think that it's going to destabilize anything? The question then is, why is it difficult for those that probably don't want us to say the way it is, that this is not a child's play asking for a freedom? You want freedom, but remember that all these countries are tied to Nigeria one way or the other. We are still talking about our crude oil. There are still other areas, but today it's just the crude oil. We will talk about it in different stages. So when we are saying to those of you at home that Yoruba nation is not just about the Fulani in the forest, àwọn tẹ́ ń bá jà lélẹ́yìí, gbogbo ìlú tí ẹ̀ ń bá jà òun ló wà lórí screen yìí. And I hope you can see it very well. Tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá rí kẹjẹ́ kí mọ̀ kí ni jẹ́ kẹ́ rí. Gbogbo ìlú tọ́mọ Nàìjíríà ń bá jà, gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ń bá jà. Kò ń ṣe bàbá Akíntóyè lẹ́ ń bá jà o. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ ní bàbá Akíntóyè ní problem. You are wasting your time. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ ní Ìgbòho ní problem. You are actually dealing with Netherlands, UK, South Africa, Cote d'Ivoire. The question now is, how do we convince all these countries that tẹ́ bá kúrò lẹ́yìn Nàìjíríà, àwa náà lépo nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, a tún ní àwọn nǹkan míì tá lè fi jọ ṣe business gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlú sílùú, ẹ ṣe fún wa ní support. And this is why we are saying to our people that ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation kò ń ṣe nǹkan kékeré o. Yoruba nation is a big deal. Mo ń bọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan. Once again, a very good evening and welcome back to the program. Nigeria has been making good money These ones that they're showing us is just probably half of the ones that have been stolen out of Nigeria that is never documented. We know because evidence have pointed from some of the news even in Nigeria that there is a lot of crude oil theft. So let's go and look at crude oil theft in Nigeria. Let's look at the headline and see whatever we can find. According to the BBC in 2022, in one of their headlines, Nigerians stolen oil, the military and a man named government. According to China's television, oil theft, EFCC task oil chiefs to disincentivize stealing of Nigerian crude oil. Leadership, even up to 2 days ago, expanding production frontiers amid crude oil theft. Sarah reporter 4 days ago, Nigerian government officials are engaging in oil theft under reporting crude production, National Security Advisor, NSA. Vanguard 3 days ago, no, that's a different story. 3 days ago, reported identified causes of crude oil theft, Nigeria and the world news. Now, VOA, Voice of Africa, Nigeria authorities hopeful after massive oil theft bust. So whatever that we are being told in these, let's close this. Because we're just focusing. Let's close this for now. Let's close this for now. Sherry crude oil tí wọ́n sọ pé a make $41.8 billion in 2021. Do you know that the same government, which is President Muhammadu Buhari, that has been in power since 2015, the APC government, the most criminal government that we've ever witnessed in the history of Nigeria, has actually let the crude oil to be stolen, no adequate protection. Now I'm just going to open one of these. A lot of people believe in BBC, so let's read a bit of BBC headline right here, right now. Once again, this is 2022, and I'm sure we have videos that we're going to match with it as well. Nigeria stolen oil, the military and a man named government. Ẹ wo bó ṣe ń tapu epo Nigeria. Somebody actually connected another valves or whatever they call it, found to understand it, all these, this whatever it is. So officials didn't have to dig deep to uncover one of the hidden pipes. Imagine these two pipes locked into a current, removing crude oil, taking it into the sea, and then it leaves Nigeria, and Nigeria is losing out. So the average Nigerian is the person losing out at exactly 6 minutes past 7 p.m. local time in London. This is koikimedia Live. And this is why we are saying that in time, deal with Yoruba nation is not as easy as a lot of you might think. Remember that nínú àwọn ìlú yìí náà, they are ready to buy without paying. They are ready to buy in a very, very cheap price because àwọn náà need it. I don't know which of the countries, but I'm very sure that out of all these countries, 1 or 3 or 5 of them will be ready to buy this crude oil for probably less than what the federal government would like to sell it to them. Let's come back here again. A network of illegal oil pipelines being unearthed in Niger Delta region has revealed the extent of oil theft in the country, outstanding even the most clinical about Nigeria's obscure but hugely lucrative oil industry. Owó epo is one of the one that can make you a billionaire within a. All you need to do is just know what to do. But it is the average Nigerian that is losing out. In Delta State, thieves only built their own 4 kilometer, almost 2.5 miles long pipeline through the heavily guarded creeks to the Atlantic Ocean. There, barges, vessels bluntly loaded the stolen oil from a 24-foot rig visibly from miles on the open waters. It was a professional job, said the head of the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC, Melekari. I think I saw the news. Let me check. I think I saw something around him. I don't know whether he's the one. Melekari's thinking NNPC transformation drive amid challenges. I'm not sure, but I saw in news, let's come back anyway here. So, Kingdom of Paper and Bear, even without reading all these, everybody understand what we're saying. So let's see if we can find, I think there should be some video just to back it up as well. Unraveling crude oil theft in Nigeria. Let's watch this video by Channels Television. Copyright. Once again, a very good evening and welcome to the program. We are just 30 minutes. Program you only do 2 hours long. So let's watch the video together.
Legitimate wholesale by the federal government, and now the outrageous and audacious stealing and refining. Nigeria's sweet crude is having a sore commentary in recent times. Stories now abound in public domain following our reports on the extent of theft and consequences seen in the sharp drop of production numbers for one of OPEC's significant members. Earlier, Channels Television brought you exclusive pictures, the first by any media station in Nigeria, of one of the suspected stealing points. That offshore platform is known as the Apremo A platform offshore Escravos and is owned by Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria. So, this oil platform has 3 main pipelines traveling from here all the way to Escravos, and it is buried under the sea and through this swamp. This is what happens. There are 3 lines here. This is the test line, and that's the line they have decided to use. So it tells you that this is very active. If you look at this line, you see that it's not active. Everything around here is dried. The same with that other one. You can see the screws, the nuts are all dried up. But if you see this place, it raises suspicion. Now, whenever they're ready to siphon oil, they remove this, tighten it all back. It tells you, look at this, it tells you that this is active, this is very active. I mean, it's not well screwed and all of that. So it tells you they do this regularly, they open this valve. Of course, this travels all the way into onshore. So it goes all the way whenever they are ready. You can see that there's nothing connected to this exit point. It's a test line. It is not supposed to be an active line, but look at this. This tells you there's been a fresh onslaught, there's been fresh discharge from this point. This is crude, not engine oil, not any other thing. This is crude. So they connect a hose to this place and run it to a vessel, a flatbed vessel, not the very big ones, a flatbed vessel that can take between like 4 or 5 tons to about 6 tons because of the draft of this side of the water. And so how do you know that this is an active platform? Because if it wasn't, look at this place. Look at this. Look at this. The same point. This is active crude. If this wasn't active, then this crude shouldn't be here. Look at it. This is crude oil. It should be sealed up like this, or sealed up like this, covered. But see, so where is the cover of this pipe is the question. We asked Shell's representative what they knew of this connection, or why, despite their claimed surveillance apparatus, didn't capture this.
We did not know of this thing until when our guys discovered it when they're doing ground project.
When was that?
That was on the 1st of this month of October.
Just 1 month ago.
Yes, one week ago.
Just 1 week ago.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Let's go to the next one.
Interesting. 1 week ago. Given the number of years this might have gone on, the quantity stolen will fall in the region of millions. It was a daring on the
Millions. That is not recorded in this data. This is the data that Nigerian is fully in the world with. Okay, might. So the Nigerian government fooled everybody that this is our actual revenue. But they are not talking about the ones that is not recorded, as we have seen in that channel's television unraveling. Let's finish watching it.
Taken to follow the crude line to this 2.5 miles location using boats, but an effort worth the risk. No one expects the scale of investigation to be meager. What will be interesting and deterring will be the sheer number of persons who may be involved in these years of suspected racket and how they will be prosecuted, especially...
Nobody has heard anything again about this. They probably tell channels, hey, Kilode, just keep quiet. Why are you exposing? Ṣé ẹni tó ń ta mọ́ínmọ́ín ní agboolé yín, ṣé ẹni tó ń gun ọ̀kadà ló máa understand how all these things work and how they were able to bring this crude oil from the creek up to the shore, and then it ends up probably in one African countries. It could end up in North Korea. It could end up anywhere. And this is why we are saying to our people that our Yoruba nation is not as easy as a lot of you are thinking. If we are not ready to stop so many income that Nigeria not make. Because if we're able to disrupt the Nigerian income, Nigerian government will know that we are serious. But because I want no, àti fẹ̀mí mímọ́ gbà á, Ọlọ́run ti bá wa gbà á, ẹ má jáde fún protest, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa kọ̀ mọ́ra máa ṣe díẹ̀díẹ̀, and that will take a very long time. Like I said, these are countries involved in buying, not illegal, buying our crude oil because they are paying for it. But the problem is, why are we not seeing the money out of it? And this is why being part of this country called Nigeria, I can waste time around. Everybody's just wasting their time. Should we remain in Nigeria? It's just too big to be managed from FCT. Ṣé Abuja máa náwọn wọ́n mọ lé Sunday Igboho, but wọ́n mọ ẹgbọ́n kan tí bàbá yẹn sọ, ó náwọn ṣe find out just a week ago. So wọ́n ṣe find out in our own water. Kò ń ṣomi olómi leléyìí, omi ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà leléyìí tí wọ́n mọ̀ pé nǹkan báyìí tó ń lọ nínú ẹ̀. Ṣé bíbá wa jẹ́, ṣé ẹ̀yin náà ẹwo tí bàbá ẹwo tó ń ṣò, ṣé bíbá wa jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí just a very small, I mean look at it. This is well built structure. I mean just look at it. But this is Nigeria. And I'm sure nothing is going to happen because it's been going on. Tabalowo, Abacha stolen money runs into billions. Since Abacha, they earned for billions stolen by Nigerian ex-leader Erujo Bosheri. When Nigerians, the then head of state, Sani Abacha, stole billions of dollars and died, lára ìgbà tó kú làwọn Gilbert yìí ni wọ́n mọ̀ pé owó kan wà tábàtà tọ́jú sí wọn lọ́wọ́. This man, àwọn ilé ti ra ẹ̀kọ́ Atlantic pa gbogbo èkó lọ́ti rà wọ́n ti ra ẹ̀kọ́ mọ́ lọ́wọ́. These criminals, wọ́n ṣọ̀rẹ́ pẹ̀lú Bill Gates náà, wọ́n ṣọ̀rẹ́ pẹ̀lú Tinubu náà, wọ́n ṣọ̀rẹ́ pẹ̀lú gbogbo àwọn èèyàn ńláńlá ní Nàìjíríà. After tábàtà kú ni wọ́n bá owó Abacha lákàntà àwọn arábí, and they actually returned $66 million to Nigerian government. Olè gbà òun lọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà. So pé a fẹ́ jáde kúrò ní Nàìjíríà, ó kọjá ọ̀rọ̀ pé Fúlàní pààyàn lójú títì, because economic lásán gan ṣe ó ti pa wá. Mo sọ fún yín before the program disconnected lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé èèyàn kan tẹ̀ ní 2,000 naira ti pọ̀ jù, èèyàn mélòó ló ń fi 500 naira jẹun lójúmọ́ nínú Nàìjíríà. Arákùnrin dá $66 million owó Abacha. Ṣé owó yẹn nìkan rá ní owó tó wà lọ́wọ́ wọn, àbí àwọn kọ̀ sọ pé ẹgbẹ́ adá díẹ̀ padà? Bill Clinton, yeah, not Bill Gates, sorry, Bill Clinton. Yes, thank you. So ìwọ tó ń sọ pé Yorùbá nation ti pẹ́ jù, ó ti pẹ́ jù Koiki, ó ti pẹ́ jù òmùgọ̀. òmùgọ̀ ni ẹ́ torí pé ojú tí wọ́n fi ń wo Nàìjíríà kọ́ lèmi fi ń wò 3 years nígbà tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbàrà mo ní àwọn àgbáyé là ń bájà kò ń ṣe àwọn tó wà nílé là ń bájà àwọn tẹ̀ ń bájà ó pọ̀ ju àwọn tó wà nílé lọ because àwọn gangan ló ń control Nàìjíríà àwọn gangan ni wọ́n ní Nàìjíríà $66 million ní bàbá ẹ̀tẹ̀ ń wò yìí ni wọ́n dá padà lára owó Abacha whereas Abacha tọ́jú owó káàkiri ẹ̀rọ ojú ẹ̀ bó ṣe rí dọ́là táyé máa títí dọ́là a lè sọ pé iye báyìí ni owó tó ṣì wà níta owó tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń sọ yìí owó crude oil náà ni kò ń ṣe kankan owó crude oil tábàtà náà ń tà ní tó ń bá Nàìjíríà tọ́jú ẹ̀ pamọ́ ni àbí báwo. In September 1999, a Swiss lawyer, Enrico Morifin, answered a call that would change his next 20 years. He called me in the middle of the night. He asked me if I could come to his hotel. He asked something of importance. I said it's a bit late, but okay. The voice on the end of this line was that of a high-ranking member of the Nigerian government. Can you find the money? Mr. Morifin says the official was sent to Geneva by Nigerian president at the time, Olusegun Obasanjo, to recruit him to get hold of the money stolen by Abacha, who ruled from 1993 until his death in 1998. He said that the preliminary investigation published by the police in November 1998 found that more than $1.5 billion was stolen by Abacha and his associates, dollars by the truckload. One of the methods used for accumulating such a colossal sum was particularly brazen. Abacha would tell an advisor to make a request to him for money for a vague security issue. He then signed up the request, which the advisor would then take to the central bank, which will hand out the money, often in cash. The advisor would then take most of that money to Abacha's home. Some was taken in dollar note by truckload, Mr. Morifin wrote. This was just one way Abacha and his associates stole huge amount of money. Other methods range from awarding state contract to friends at highly inflated price and then pocketing the differences and demanding foreign companies pay huge kickback to operate in the country. Sonny Abacha. This went on for the 3 years until everything changed when Abacha died suddenly at the age of 54. He died at the age of 54. But ó ti báyé jẹ́. Ṣé màá bá àwọn wọ́n ń jẹ mùládọ̀lá ni. Àwọn ọmọ Abacha àtàwọn ọmọ Abacha nínú Nàìjíríà lénìí. Ìwọ tó ń sọ pé ó fẹ́ Nàìjíríà. Àwọn ọmọ Abacha wọ́n ń jẹ ẹ lọ wò wọ́n lórí Instagram. Ẹ lọ wo gold tó ń wọ̀ sọ́rùn. Ẹ lọ wo ayé tó ń jẹ. Nobody will ever know. Ojoojúmọ́ ni America ń dáwó padà. Ẹ ríran CNN àwọn náà bá wa gbé láìpẹ́ nìyẹn. Last year August, US to return $23 million looted by the late dictator Abacha to Nigeria. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn lè tẹ̀dá $22 million and now they say this particular family returned $66 million. Okay, Mrs. Modupe Kabomo. We're just about under half an hour to the end of the program. And as I say all the time, crude oil is a big industry in the world. And Nigeria is respected because in abundance. How long it will last, I don't know. But I know that for now, epo tó wà crude oil ta ní Nigeria, ní different part of Nigeria, kódà wọ́n náà ṣe rí kan náà ní ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn Haúsá lọ́hùn lókè lọ́hùn, àwọn òkè ọya lọ́hùn. But ẹ tún wo àwọn ìlú ilé ẹ̀kan sí. Èwo náà àwọn ìlú yìí ló máa ní lọ́kàn pé ẹ jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà kó pín àkókò máa bá ìlú tó bá wà níbẹ̀ a máa bá wọn ṣe. Can they afford that Nigeria should break at this particular time? Ṣáwa la máa make effort yẹn, la máa make push yẹn àbí akọ̀mọ́ ni Yorùbá nation no going back, Yorùbá nation now. And some people that think, that I mean, everybody has their views and opinions that the new government, tó máa wá break in Nigeria, àtàwọn padà sí regional government. Okay, that is what they think and they believe. But this new government tó ń bọ̀ yìí o, kó dé wá bá wa láyé pé ó máa wá fún wọn ní regional government àbí á dá Nàìjíríà padà sí ibi tí a lè sọ pé okay, ìlọsíwájú máa wà, ìfẹ́ àdẹ̀wà wà láàrin gbogbo wa náà bẹ́ẹ̀ àbí. Àwọn tá à nífẹ̀ẹ́ ara wa olúkàlùkù I can live in denial. We don't love the Igbo people, we don't love the Hausa people, we don't love the Fulani, and people think that if this new government don't go, will come and make things better. Ẹni tó ń gbéyàwó lọ bá ló ń kàn mí òun lọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo wa bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ nígbà tí Buhari ń bọ̀ náà ni 8 years down the line today ìpè làwọn èèyàn ṣẹ́ fún Buhari ọdún 8 ń pẹ́ o. So ẹ̀yin tèmi ibi tá a máa palẹ̀ mọ́ ètò ìtàlẹ́ ìsinmi mo kàn fẹ́ kí gbogbo ara ti pé country kan fẹ́ fi country kan sílẹ̀ o. Country need the country kan. So àwa táwa ń bèrè pé kí country kan tí àwa wà nínú ẹ̀ kó pín ó máa difficult gan. Ó máa difficult gan. I don't know what the new system of this government ń bọ̀. I don't know what their plan is. But the current spark of things ní Nigeria ó ti kọjá bó ṣe yẹ lọ gan. Poverty level yẹn ò lè change if we are still running the same system. Because àwọn èèyàn okay ṣé a máa ní káwọn èèyàn má bímọ mọ́ títí tá a máa fi ní solution ni àwọn èèyàn sì bára wọn ṣùgbọ́n bímọ tó yún jáde lójoojúmọ́ ní Nàìjíríà. Ẹlòmíì báyìí nísìnyí ìtọ́sọ fún pé ó ti lóyún kẹ̀ ọkọ yẹn sá kúrò nílé ni ó lè tó wá lọ fóun níbejì. So there is a lot of pressure nílé. I'm not talking about Yoruba land now. I'm talking about the whole country. The rule of law sí níbẹ̀. Ẹ lọ àwọn zakizaki wọ́n sì protest níjọ́ ní l'Abuja. Ṣé tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì yẹn bá dé ṣó máa allow rule of law kó ṣiṣẹ́? Because tí rule of law bá ṣiṣẹ́ in a democratic way, nǹkan tí APC tolerate ní 8 years wọ́n tó bẹ́ẹ̀ kan tolerate ẹ̀ tó bá yẹ pé tòótọ́ pé òfin wà ní Nàìjíríà. Ṣé ìjọba tó ń fẹ́ dé náà ṣó máa jẹ́ kí òfin kó ṣẹlẹ̀? Rule of law. Ìlú tó bá ti respect the rule of law ẹ forget it, it's a waste of time. Because okay nísìn èmi àti èèyàn kan jọ tarùn síra wa ní UK nísìn òfin ló máa jọ yanjú ẹ̀ fún wa. Okay kí ló sọ ó ṣépè fún lórí social media okay kí ló dé tó ṣépè fún a lọ sọ nínú court àwọn jury ló máa wá dájọ́ just àbọ̀ ṣe máa dájọ́ ike kiri máa dùn ní May 5 kọ́lọ̀ kó sọ wà nígbà yẹn. Rule of law ní because wọ́n gbé gbogbo kéèsì yẹn wò ike kiri máa dùn òfin sọ fún pé ó ní right láti defend rẹ̀ ó gba lọ́ọ̀yà alọ́lọ́mọ yẹn tó ná fún lọ́ọ̀yà gbogbo tí lọ́ọ̀yà present síwájú àwọn júrì náà wọn ò bá gbọ́ irọ́ ni ó gbéyàn wá láti wá ra. So rule of law ṣé government APC tí kò respect tí kò value rule of law fún ọdún 8 tí Buhari olórí burúkú yẹn fi wà níbẹ̀ ìjọba APC náà sì ní kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ change. It's about the rule of law. Mo kí bàbá wa ní Kétu Aláké bàbá wa Rafiu. So ẹ lè rí pé ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation is a big thing. Kò ń ṣe nǹkan kékeré rárá. Àwọn ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan rò pé àwọn ti pẹ́ jù nǹkan kí ló pẹ́ jù. There are countries táwọn náà tó ń push pé Nàìjíríà gbọ́dọ̀ tí break nísìn. Àwọn òkè ṣe India tó ń ra crude oil wa tó pọ̀ jù mọ̀ pé India need the crude oil yẹn because wọ́n need it for production purposes. Wọ́n need it for production purposes. So I don't think India might want Nigeria to break today. And definitely lára àwọn ìlú tá à ń sọ yìí, ẹ rántí pé ní 1966 tàbí 67 nígbà tí ogun Biafra bẹ́lẹ̀, it was a divided kini. Mo ti ṣàlàyé pé Russia nísìnyí o kò likely kó support Nigeria because I don't know, but I don't know, but let me reverse it this way. Kò likely pé kí Russia endorse UK àti America lórí pé tíjà bá bẹ́lẹ̀ Nàìjíríà nísìn because Russia ń bá àwọn méjèèjì jà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn. So opportunity lè jẹ́ fún wa láti push effort but àwọn kan nínú ẹ slow down ẹ ṣe this ẹ má ṣe dá. Ó máa yé gbogbo wa láìpẹ́ but àwọn stakeholders pọ̀ gan-an. I'm not talking about Fulani now. I'm talking about ṣé ní gbogbo ti Fulani yẹn kékeré nìyẹn Fulani inú gbogbo. Àwọn yẹn wọ́n kàn lọ àwọn yẹn fún mission ni. Àwọn ìlú gangan mo kí n grandma yàrá comfort ẹ ká bìí. Àwọn countries gangan ló ń hold the Nigeria together because tó kún bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ nísìnyí Nigeria máa need a lot of support láti ta náà. But gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tèmi sọ nísìn ṣẹ́ni tẹ́bi ń pa nílé nísìn kò lè understand it but ìdí tẹ́bi ṣe ń pa gangan nílé náà problem tẹ́bi ṣe ń pa náà ni mò ń sọ yìí. But nígbà tó ráyè ra internet tó máa fi gbọ́ mi wọ́n lè jẹ́ kó jáde ní orí Yomi Hamzat FM. A sì máa ṣe program. I don't bet but government tó fẹ́ wọlé kò lè gbé yípadà lọ sí regional government. Màá wá ṣe program lé lórí a full scale program. Pé government tó fẹ́ wọlé yìí á gbé yípadà lọ sí regional government ẹ̀ tuntun ẹ̀ dànù. It's all lies. It's all lies. Irọ́ ni. Àwa ọmọ Yorùbá kọ̀ láìkì kọ́ máa fi nǹkan dúdú kọ́ máa fi tì sí wa níwájú. Tí gbogbo bá ṣe ok ẹ wo Fáyọ̀ṣe nísìn ó ṣe gọ́vnà. Tí ẹ mọ̀ pé Fáyọ̀ṣe kàn ń ṣayé ẹ̀ lọ báyìí nísìn ni. Kí ló dé tó lè kú kẹ̀? Opening setting today. Fáyọ̀ṣe nísìn ó ti parí ìjọba ẹ̀. Gbogbo wọn máa ṣe ìjọba yẹn wọ́n máa lọ irọ́ ló ń pa. Ẹlòmíà tún dé á tún ṣèjọba yẹn. Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún bá ṣe tán nísìn bó ṣe tún máa di senator ló máa sáré after the last 4 years tó kù ní Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ló lọ nísìn. Gbogbo tó máa ṣe nísìn bó ṣe máa tún fẹ́ di senator ló máa lé. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fẹ́yìn tiwa pé àwọn politician lẹ Yorùbá ṣèbí Amosun nísìn ó ṣe governor fún 8 years ó ṣe dáadáa kò ṣe dáadáa ó ṣàánú ti ṣe tó máa ṣe ń bẹ̀ ó ti move forward. But one thing is tá a bá prepare mind wa pé a fi lọ gangan èyí tó kù ta kàn ṣe akàn máa sọ pé a fi lọ ni a fi lọ ń ṣẹnu a fi gba Yorùbá nation kò ń ṣẹnu a fi lọ kò kì í ṣe pé Yorùbá nation no action but a fẹ́ ṣe action nìyẹn but my own is media tèmi ní kí n ṣàlàyé fún yín nítorí kálukú bá fẹ́ ṣe I decided. That's just my own. So mo ti sọ látọdún mẹ́ta mo sì dúró lé lórí tá a bá ti sọ di ìjà àlọ́ anywhere kò sí nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ Koiki yẹ báwo ló ṣe máa wá dìjà problem tèmi kọ́ nìyẹn kórúkálukú lọ yanjú yẹn ṣe problem tèmi èmi ti sọ tèmi from the perspective of bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe rí tá a bá sọ dìjà tá a bá sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn tá a bá sọ di sùúrùtù gidi gbogbo ilé ta sì ń ṣe pé kò báyìí náà kò jẹ́ kí nǹkan kan máa tutù ó jẹ́ kó máa gbóná bọ̀ wọ́n kò jẹ́ kẹ́nìtì tutù ó yẹ kí ó máa gbóná ni gbóná bọ̀ wọ́n ní èmi ò lè jókòó sí abroad kí n máa sọ pé kó gbóná máa kó gbóná gbà yẹn èmi mọ̀ sílé ìtìbá lè ṣe fún àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí mi nílé ni. So but the reality máa dán lórí Yorùbá because the country is not going to ready to break. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ fẹ́ kó break tó pọ̀ jù náà ni politicians tiwa àwọn olóṣèlú àwọn mi gangan ni wọ́n ń lò but nígbà tá a bá ti díje gbogbo wọn pátápátá but èmi kọ́ ni máa give order tèmi ni pé kí n jẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ pé ó gbọ́dọ̀ dìjà ó gbọ́dọ̀ di sùúrùtù ó gbọ́dọ̀ máa eruku gbọ́dọ̀ máa yọ lójoojúmọ́ but ẹni ẹ̀fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo ti pariwo títí ẹni ẹ̀fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ sọ kí ni mo fẹ́ ṣe sí I am just a media organization lèmi èmi ìmọ̀ mi tó ti ń tàbọn ìmọ̀ mi tó ti ń rà tèmi ni pé mo láti jẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ pé ó máa di wàhálà ká máa fi cross over tó bá di wàhálà ni gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì máa mọ̀ pé yes are serious tí gbogbo àwọn tó ń repo lọ́wọ́ gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ò bá repo rà then wá realize pé now yes àwọn people ìfẹ́ wa Yorùbá nation but a ní òkè àfẹ́bẹ̀ àìdúfẹ́ bá àwọn Ìgbò ṣe àwọn Ìgbò kẹ̀rí dẹ̀ fi jà wọn náà máa jà ní Ìgbò ní kò sí tó kàn án pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo diplomacy yẹn a máa ṣe lọ bọ̀ ìjà gbọ́dọ̀ wọnú ẹ̀ gbowó ìtì ìgbéjà yẹn síta dáadáa ni bí a tó bá gbéjà síta bí àwa náà máa tẹ̀lé wọn koikimedia ká mọ àwọn ti Ìgbò àbọ̀ káwọn Ìgbò yẹn wọ́n ń para wọn lọ́hùn ni bí a Biafra máa lọ before àwa ìgbà yẹn lójú ìmọ̀ wa já nígbà tí Biafra bá lọ before àwa ìgbà yẹn lẹ máa mọ̀ pé yẹ because táwọn bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gbà sí fúnra wọn lọ́hùn international community ò ní sọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà àti Yorùbá o Biafra àti Nàìjíríà lọ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ o wọ́n lè kọ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé wọ́n lè cut out Biafra as a country kọ́ dẹ̀ sọ pé àwa tó kù tá a bá máa gbọ̀dọ̀ wọn kọjá a máa ní new boundary tá a máa fi kọjá through ibi tá a bá fi gbọ́ if not Nàìjíríà máa gbádùn lọ́wọ́ ọ̀nà míì tí kò ní gbanú Biafra land wọ́n lè ja ogun ní Biafra again tí kò ní dé Lagos State tí kò ní délẹ̀ Yorùbá but by the time tá a bá parí ogun yẹn àwọn ló ń lọ àwọn ò tí ì lọ so kánú méjèèjì ni so kò ní jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ní àṣálẹ́ ẹ yẹ kí n lọ bá àwọn ọmọ Oòduà bàbá wọn ṣe weekend wọ́n ti ń pariwo mi látẹ̀kàn lókè kí n lọ bá wọn mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí tèmi ni pé kéèmí máa educate yín ètò òmò kí n ṣàlàyé fún ẹ ọ̀nà oríṣiríṣi ẹ̀yin àwa ṣẹ̀wá lẹ́yìn group at organization ilẹ̀ máa wá take yẹn Koiki wá ṣe meeting kankan so I'm not interested in any meeting for now media ni mi ẹ jẹ́ kí n kàn máa promote Yorùbá nation gbogbo meeting ẹ jókòó sínú Zoom 30 hours 3 hours I'm not interested in all that media ni mi tí bá fi pé mo lè promote màá bá yín promote ẹ but pé Nigeria ìbá anybody ṣe on my own ni mo wà mo bá anybody ṣe anything mo bá anybody jáwọ́ bọ̀ mo bá anybody ṣe any partnership kankan media ni mi ẹ jẹ́ kémi jẹ́ pé mi nìkan ni sọ́ra tọ́ bá tẹ̀ fẹ́ gbé mi tọ́lọ́pàá bá fẹ́ gbé mi kí n mọ̀ pé mi nìkan mò ń pariwo ká máa jà torí mo lè máa pariwo pé a fẹ́ jà káwọn kan ní àníjà ẹ lè fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation ọ̀nà wọlé fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation ẹ̀mí mímọ́ àti Jésù Kristi àti Muhammed àti ìṣẹ̀ṣe ok ẹ lọ máa lò yẹn náà ẹ lọ máa lò yẹn so bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn but one thing is bringing that country down is not going to be as easy but it is possible it is possible a kò ní àwọn tí tó sán lórí gidi ẹni di this ẹni di irọ́ ni gbogbo ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ti provide fún yín they are criminals ló pọ̀ jù ní gbogbo yín bẹ́ẹ̀ gbẹ́jẹ́gbẹ́jẹ́gbẹ́ lọ ẹ kó fún yín kan criminals a kò ní àwọn tó sán lórí gidi tọ́jú mélòó kan lọ tó sán lórí gbogbo tá à ń sọ yìí ó máa rú bí iná ni wọ́n ṣe wá Ìgbòho kó wá bá ń ṣe Ìgbòho ìgbẹ́ kí Ìgbòho wà níbi tó wà kí Ìgbòho gan máa gbúrò pé ẹ̀yin lẹ́ ń dọ́kan báyìí wò ẹ káre lọ́hùn gbogbo à ń dóde Ìgbòho náà shows that we are not ready mo ní kẹ́ ya sí títì ẹ̀ náà fẹ́ ya sí títì ẹ̀ wọ́n tó máa sẹ́ndì owó mọ́tò sí ẹ̀ rí owó mọ́tò ẹ̀ nǹkan náà tèmi jì about how many miles la pè lẹ́ǹkan lánàá yẹn 4,000 miles away from Nigeria èmi wà ìtèmi lè ṣe òun lè ní ṣe a kàn nídìí àwọn tó sán lórí gidi gbogbo ni ẹ̀gbọ́n mi kéèkì gbogbo yín láti support spiritually àti fún yín lówó àti encourage yín but a ti rí pé ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ wàhálà ẹ fi bàbá tútù rí jáde kó sọ fún yín pé bẹ̀rẹ̀ wàhálà bàbá ti dàgbà àndóde bàbá 87 kò sọ fún wa pé ká lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ wàhálà bàbá ò lè jáde bàbá tí bàbá máa san náà ló máa san yẹn ẹ̀yin ọmọ mi ẹ ṣe sùn nígbà tí bàbá bá gbọ́ pé iná ti ń rú bàbá gbọ́ máa sọ fún àgbáyé pé ẹ tètè àwọn ọmọ yóò gbọ́ràn mọ́ so bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí àníní jù báyìí lọ tí ìbá jáde lọ́la I could just be resting so weekend ni mo ṣe lọ́la mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́ǹkan sí Yorùbá nation no going back ìyẹn ló dùn jù láti sọ no going back Yorùbá nation no going back ní àwọn tó sán lórí gidi kí á ní federal government máa bèrè pé kí la fẹ́ federal government náà mọ̀ but àwọn náà fẹ́ kó di wàhálà nígbà tó bá répo tà síta wọ́n sì répo tà síta ni tó bá répo tà síta but I leave you in the hands of Elédùmarè. Thank you so much everyone. Ẹ̀yin tèmi lórí Mixlr èmi àbúrò yìí náà ni o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ara àwọn tó sán lórí gidi gbogbo kìíní ẹ̀ àwọn kan náà dúró káwọn kan tó push me but everybody is just waiting for somebody so somebody must take the bull by the horn and say no enough is enough kí ló dé àgbà ní àkọ́ ló dá Arab Spring sílẹ̀ ìyẹn kan ní Arab Spring yẹn èèyàn kan ní gbá sódà sí báyìí àwọn tó tẹ̀lé gbágbágbágbágbágbá ẹ lọ wo Paris sùúrùtù lọ gidi ẹ dá gbọ́ ìdánsí Ìgbòho lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ká tó máa lọ jàre. Have a very good evening. Enjoy the rest of the evening and bye for now. Ẹ ṣé ìyá mi múdà bá ọmọ ìyá Grace olùṣọ́tọ̀. Mo kí wọ ẹ̀jẹ̀ ọ̀run. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn ìlànà pátápátá. Mo kí àwọn AOPC. Mo kí Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà. Mo kí gbogbo nǹkan pè ní Yorùbá. Olúkálùkù ló nílò láti lọ play. Owó tèmi ń play kò lè sú èmi. Kọ̀sọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ń bá tèmi fẹ́ máa sọ lójoojúmọ́ láti máa fi ṣí ọkùnrin kúrò lára ìlú òṣì burúkú yẹn. Ìlú tó ti gba Sátọdé ó ti gbé Monday lẹ́yìn lọ́wọ́ púpọ̀ ní yóò lè ra pátá tuntun second hand lè ra bend it and pick it up òun lè ra ṣé ìlú nìyẹn tẹ́yìn tẹ́tẹ̀ tí lè ra pàǹtì tuntun lè máa ra aṣọ tuntun ó dáwọ́ jàre.
Fúlàní ọjọ́ Fúlàní ló jẹ́ o. Yorùbá nation yìí ti gbogbo wa ni kó má gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́ torí kò sílùú mìíràn.
Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful.